All right, we should be live now. Hello. Let me check. How do you check when you're live?
We're probably live, and everyone is like, "Yes, you're live."
I'm going to awkwardly wait for 2 minutes for the comments to come through.
Just stare. Yeah. Oh, we're flipped.
Hey.
Okay. Oh, sorry.
Oh, I need to mute that channel. Okay, so let's crack on with this. Everybody, welcome to episode 4 of the Makercast, which is on Sunday, the 5th of May 2019. It was close to May the 4th, but we didn't make it. With me on this one, we have got Bitluni, we have got Dave Darko, who has got a special guest, Alex, who's otherwise known as Tinyledmatrix.
This guy.
We have got the infamous David Watts, who is finally... And we've also got Colin Hickey. I've done it in the wrong order. You should have been alphabetical. Colin Hickey as well. So yeah, we've got, including Alex, we've actually got 6 on today, which should be interesting. So we're going to start with intros. Is everything working? Yes, cool. Right, so let's start off with me, I suppose. My name is Stephen Ludgate, otherwise known as Chunky Stevo on most of the social media platforms. I tend to be the maker that doesn't seem to make anything, but I like to open post bags. But this podcast is forcing me into doing lots of projects monthly, a lot of 3D printing, and yeah, slowly ramping everything up. Who should we? Let's do it in order. So we'll go with Colin.
Yeah, as I mentioned last time, I do a lot of Powerwall and ESP related items. BMS is around the Powerwalls as well. Yeah, and that's the mainstay of my channel, really.
You are Mr. Power. Yeah, you're Mr. Powerwall and Mr.
Powerwall solar
communication guy as well. The if you want any serial and Wi-Fi.
Yeah, 3D printer stuff is a big thing, as you can see behind.
Cool. We're going to go to, I'll tell you what, we'll go to David Watts first. If you could introduce yourself.
Okay. Yeah, I'm a electronics maker guy. I do an electronics vlog. There's no tutorials. There's nothing like that. You can find me on YouTube/David Watts.
And you're not the singer, David Watts.
No, that's the song. It's not a singer. Although, yeah. I mean, I can kick out a tune if you really want me to. I was singing ABC, the alphabet song, to a small child today.
Yes, please.
I hated it. I'm not doing it now. Maybe when I get to the end of this.
Nice. And you are having a nice, refreshing drink.
Yes.
Cheers.
Apple juice.
Yeah. I am also on the Tizer. I've realized I've done it in the complete wrong order alphabetically. I'm getting this completely wrong, but we'll go to...
I mean, do you need me to sing that song? Because it might help, actually.
Yeah, that should be. I can play guitar too. Yeah.
If we don't go over our allotted time of 4 hours, we'll we'll get to the song.
It should be.
We'll go with Bitluni.
Oh, me. Okay.
Yeah. Doing this in random order now.
Hi, I'm Bitluni. You know me probably from Bitluni's lab, and yeah, I'm an electronics maker. And yeah, that's all, I think.
I noticed you've got your new sub counter.
Yes, it's over there. There it is. So it's live. So anyone can troll me by unsubscribing right now. It will go down then. It updates every minute. Yeah.
So I thought I would join in on this, and if you can see there, you can see I've got my subscriber counter, but
that's fancy.
It's everybody's. So as I'm talking, people can see how many we've all got. And similar to Bitluni, if you haven't subscribed and you're watching this, you need to go off and subscribe to everyone, and it'll pop up saying that people have subscribed. If you unsubscribe, we're just leaving this stream. We're going. So it did have a little wolf whistle when you get a subscriber. But Bitluni, you get like 1-2 subs every minute. It's quite impressive.
No. That was just for the video. That was like a fake. So it's not that quick. Yeah.
It was infuriating, so I switched off the buzzer. And now we're going to go to last but not least, because there's two of them, is Dave Darko and his special guest Alex.
Okay, great. Because alphabetically, I would have been between
Yeah.
Bitluni and David. Yeah, and never mind. I'm Dave. I call myself Dave Darko on the interwebs. We have all the links to our channels and social media platforms in the description, by the way, and there should be Alex's as well. Yeah, what do? I think we will show that later, but I'm basically dabbling along in PCB design and 3D prints and putting them together sometimes. Yeah.
And who's this handsome chap next to you?
Who is he?
Yeah, I'm Alex. I'm in the internet. I'm around as Tinyledmatrix, which also describes what I'm doing, because some people say I'm building the smallest PCB LED matrices in the world. Maybe that's true. I'm not really sure, but they're quite small.
Dave.
He's so tiny. That wasn't my cell phone here. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, you should look up Alex's Tiny LED Matrix. Pretty much Googling Tiny LED Matrix should bring up your images at least. And
Well, he brought all his projects in this kind of box, so yeah, we will show that later as well.
cool. I'll not spoil the surprise or the pure scale of it. Okie dokie. So let's moving on to what we have all been doing, and I'm going to try and go in alphabetical order properly this time. But there's two Daves. It's so confusing. I need some kind of song to explain the alphabet to me. So we'll go with Bitluni. What have you been up to, mate?
So it was a long month, and I'm not really sure what was the last update. I did many boards, and most of them were wrong, so it didn't work there. And what is this no spoilers image, Steve?
Oh, this is just for. I'm going to see Avengers tomorrow morning, so I don't want any.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, and I got many boards that don't actually work, so I have to scrap like 100 boards of the next version of my VGA board. I'm waiting for the new delivery, and yeah, it's taking a little bit longer because of 1st of May, and everyone isn't working, especially the customs in Germany. And yeah, I had really lot of fun with PCB design. Got my first video with sponsored by JLC, and summarizing up a few experiences that I made in the past few months. And yeah, I did the counter there, and yeah, so I'm a little bit unprepared, but yeah, here are some boards. Maybe I will show them if it's visible. I'm just seeing David on the screen in full size, so it's not focusing. Oh, I can focus. Sorry. There, yeah. So I have my programmer is working. It's the final version. So this is the TrueHole programmer. Maybe I can focus it.
This is your USB to serial programming.
Yeah, that's the one. So and I have the not working VGA version with an deck that's it's analog devices deck, and the blue channel doesn't work for whatever reason. And that was, I had also the version for the Tiny Pico. So where's my Tiny Pico? This is actually the version, and it has the same problem because it's basically the same design. I just ordered both PCBs at the same time, and both designs don't work. So I reordered even a new design for the Tiny Pico VGA board, and I actually missed to connect one portion of a ground plane, and the headphone jack doesn't work if you're using it with the headphones. And yeah, but it works if you're using it like with a line out and connected to a sound card that's probably powered over the same line than the microcontroller. So yeah, it's unfortunate, but it's like that. And I just released another video with where I'm showing how I use Easy EDA to design the boards and what I found out and the design rules. So that's another sponsored video, but actually it could be quite useful because I'm talking about the pitfalls that with the ground planes and so on. So and you can see what I did wrong in the past few months and what I learned about Easy EDA especially. So that video is right out now, but I hope that it will push the viewers to your channel right now, Stephen, because I did a big shout out at the end, so hopefully that works.
Yes.
And that's all that I did. I think much of gardening this month. So I'm recording it, but this will be all that stuff will be published on Bitluni's Trash. What is my secondary channel without any major editing or voiceovers or whatever. It's just recording and
So you even had some snow yesterday.
Yes, I had. Yeah, it was quite cold. Even today, we had some visitors over, and we went to a hill nearby, and there was snow everywhere. So it's quite uncommon.
I was hoping you were going to say that was unusual. Yeah.
No, it isn't.
Right. Wow. Okay. So your VGA board, that is a continuation of your ESP32 VGA board.
Yeah, I had this one shield that I sold. It was limited to 100 pieces, and the new one is simply, I have a soldered version here. So this is a little bit smaller and works with, it's still true hole. And how can I focus this?
There you go.
There you go. Okay. So it's with, there are some 8-watt resistors, true hole resistors, and I'm using them for fun, but they're hard to source. So this one will be probably limited as well to 100 pieces, or maybe 200 if I won't scrap the ones that that have the faulty ground plane. That's just a simple botch wire to the next ground. So yeah, not sure about that. Yeah, so that's all.
It's a very interesting progress on your design, because I know I'm one of the people that got the original.
Yeah, so
board, and comparing that to your, if you could get the one with the DAC working.
Yeah, so
huge change.
So this is the huge one, the first one, then the second one, which is smaller and still true hole. Then we have the new one that I have this one here. So this has already an headphone jack and it's working with a DAC. It's a surface mount, and but I won't use the external DAC because it doesn't work properly, or I don't bother, and it's a little bit more expensive. And the other design with the resistor letters is working fine. So I did a new design. It's the same form factor, and this is the third version. And the Tiny Pico is even smaller than that. And and I started with maybe I can show it.
Oh, Bitluni's got a lot to show. I'm going to have nothing.
You've got the whole country.
Can't find it. I have received my first stencil and doing now surface mount with the stencil. So I never did that before with hot air. And I have the YouTube counter is standing on this crappy, cheap ass reflow oven, and I'm currently modifying it. So I'm doing the same mods that Unexpected Maker did for his one, and I will use that. And I'm really thinking about getting a pick and place machine, a tabletop pick and place machine for, but it's several K dollars, and I don't know if I can afford it. I'm negotiating with 2 companies, but they don't want to give me discounts on that.
That's it. Baby steps. Keep buying it, everything slowly, and you'll never notice. Colin Hickey, what have you been up to?
I don't
Glorious sunshine weather that we've been having in the
UK. It has. But following on from what Bitluni mentions there about the reflow oven, that's one thing I've been doing this month with the Aldi oven here, the red one. And I've kind of done I think I alluded to it in the last makercast, a homage to Unexpected Maker, his board. And if this will focus, it's kind of up and running now, backwards, but kind of, they say flattery's imitation's the greatest form of flattery, so that's basically what it is. Sion's done all the hard work, and what I've done is I've taken a SAMD21 plug-in module in the same board that Sion uses, the IL board, that plugs in there, the same 4-button arrangement. And the idea was just to make something like, he's done the hard work with the code, and just make something that was through hole, just a slightly different take on it, but while still maintaining the same code base. And I've just literally done the final bits of that this afternoon. Didn't set the house on fire, which was always advantageous. So, and then that's working pretty well. Same as Bitluni, as you can see with the bodge wires on this thing, I did make a couple of errors, as happens.
You're in good company with the
very good company. Yeah, I did it with one of the other boards as well. But it's just a learning exercise. For that as well, I used JLC PCB and designed a custom part for the plug-in board for the SAMD21, because I needed to use the ICSP headers that were underneath, which usually would be soldered on the top of the board, but I've soldered them on the bottom just to use all the available headers. And that's working well, which is great. And discovered a couple of things about thermocouples, and mine doesn't work too great, but I've got another one on order, so that's great. That's finally got there and working.
How's the performance of the oven, the Aldi oven? Because I know that's been a few questions on the comments that people have been looking at that in the UK and Ireland. So
yeah, it's about 20-21 pound. I think it heats up pretty well. Sion's done a fantastic job on the board, the code, and it's got a testing facility to see if it gets up to 90 degrees in 90 seconds, I think it is, and it easily hits it. There's 4 elements in, 2 at the bottom, 2 at the top. So yeah, that hits it really easy. And I did a small bodge using the thermocouple that came with my multimeter, which is one that's better for measuring an air. And it wasn't a million miles away from the reflow profile. It wasn't bang on, but it was pretty good for what it was. So yeah, so I'm pretty happy with that. And the oven I'm pretty happy with. It is working with mains, so I'm still a little bit nervous, and I've just got the SSR controlling the elements directly. So maybe it's the first few reflows I might do out in the garage or somewhere safe. But no, I'm really happy with it. Yeah, for the cost, it's great.
I think it's certainly something I might purchase, because they do. Yeah, it's like £20, and sometimes it even comes down as low as 15.
Really? Yeah. For that cost, it's definitely worth it. And the design that Sion's done, it gives a bit more reassurance that it's not going to run away and destroy itself or your boards. So yeah, so I'm pretty happy with that. I've had it sitting there for quite some time, so I'm pleased myself that I got it up and running this afternoon. So I'll probably be putting a little video out about that. So yeah, so it's good. The other thing I've been working on, you alluded to the sunshine there. My Powerwall has been kind of resurrected. I had one faulty pack, so stripped that down and been looking at it and weeded out a couple of the weak cells. So that's working pretty well. And I've done the final missing part, as it were. I run what's called a grid tie inverter. and one of the big parts of that is measuring how much power your house is using. So that required running a long cable like out the garage all the way around the side of the house to the power meter on the wall, and monitoring the live cable. And the idea is that if the house is using 300 watts, then the inverter will just make 300 watts. And there's kind of two reasons for doing that. Is one, not to waste the power if it's not needed, especially if you're using a Powerwall or battery bank. And the other reason is that with the advent of smart meters, you get charged for electricity that you push back into the grid, rather than actually making money off it, because the smart meter doesn't determine which way it's going, just that there's current passed through it. So, and what with that grid tie, what it basically does, it means if you need 300 watts, it'll push out 300 watts. If you need 600, it'll do that. The limit on mine is 1,000 watts, but I've kept it at 900, and that's been working really well. We've had some pretty good days. I've only got a small amount of panels, but I've had some days where I've managed to survive just about on the solar during the core sunshine time, which is great. I don't actually think it's saving me that much money, I'll be honest, but it is nice to see that you're on the smart meter. I think you've got like you're only drawing 10 watts from the grid. It's a nice smug feeling.
Yeah, I think with these projects, a lot of it doesn't come down to the physical cost of it. It's kind of you're a maker, you're a DIYer, you're doing it, and then you've got this happy, smug feeling that you're drawing less power off the grid. You're saving a few pennies, and then in the long run, it's gonna add up. I think usually the naysayers will work out, well, the cost of your panels and the cost of all your equipment, you're gonna spend like 20-30 years just to recoup costs, but you kind of got to ignore them and say, well, I'm not doing it to recoup costs.
Yeah, it's also about I'm not sure what kind of energy mix is typical there where you are, but it's also an ecological point to use solar.
Yeah, I mean that kind of like trumps everything else that you would say is, or
Yeah.
This is the future. This is the way forward. This is what Tesla's doing. This is, I subscribe to a lot of Tesla podcasts and things, and the whole, Tesla Powerwall and solar panels and what they're doing in Australia. It's, we're not going to be creating more coal power plants, and especially in the UK, we've got, I think it's wind and solar it's something like 50% of the power needs at the moment for the grid. So it's, yeah.
No, it can be right up there, and that's definitely a big thing. And in a way as well, end up using more power for things like lighting up the garden like a Christmas tree, like with lights everywhere. And it's just nice to know it's not costing you. So it's quite nice, and it's that as the final kind of part of the puzzle. So that's working well. So then you get the itch and that you need more solar. So I've got another 900 watts of panels that trying to figure out how to get mounted onto my garage now at the moment. But once I do that during the day, pretty much using zero power from the grid, and then I'll need a bigger battery bank to store it to use it in the evening. So, it's kind of a never-ending thing, but it's a positive thing though as well.
I think that is the addiction, that whatever surface area you have got available, you want to fill that as much as you can with solar panels. And as you say, once you're topping over your base load, you need to start saving that energy. Yeah,
you want to save that during the day. So the idea, going into the evening, you'll start running off the batteries, and it'll do that. And that's when you use most of the power anyway in the evening. So that makes sense. But no, it's great and it's working well, and it's all safe and fused, and been keeping an eye on it. So that's fantastic. I just need more batteries and keep on going with it. Yeah, I think on that note, safety is a key word on doing these solar and grid DIY things. Is do not scrimp on safety, do not scrimp on corners, fuse everything, get all the right gauge cables. If you do have an electrician mate that can come in and he doesn't have to put his name to it, but he can certainly verify work that you've done, that it's of sound mind. And especially when you start getting into mains, yeah, definitely. I'd always say you're probably best off testing your toe in the water with small scale 12, 24 volt little setup, on a small panel. There's a few people been asking advice about that lately as well. So that's a video I might make, just a small one, how to test your toe in the water, and recommend a few products. Yeah, just to get your 12 volt lights up in your garage, definitely. Yeah, no, definitely. It's easy to do. There's no risk. You're not connecting to the mains. So it's a good way. And part of that setup, one other thing I had been working on was I've got on the solar charge controller that has a RJ45 port with the RS485 over that gives some comms. I've got a Raspberry Pi that queries that, and I have a board that works with those charge controllers, the EP Evers. And one thing I had this month was bottoming out an issue with the design, which was classic thing I should have spotted, but was relating to powering something with 3.3 volts and then having 5 volt IO. Even though it works on some boards, it doesn't work on others. But I've kind of finally got the bottom of that, which was good.
Right. That was a big bugbear here.
Yeah, that was a problem that went on for quite a while, and it was compounded by that was one of the first things I tried. But then realized that it was saying two issues in one. It was the software as well, strangely. A piece of software from GitHub called ESP Link I use. And for some unknown reason, if you power everything off 3.3 volt, that doesn't operate very well. But then I've rolled my own code in running that, and that works rock solid stable. So I'm not sure why the ESP Link doesn't work reliably like that, but it's not something I'm going to delve into too much because I've got another working code base, which is working great. So yeah, that's another board revision to order and get in if I want those. But yeah, so that's my month really.
Fantastic, thank you very much. Let's go straight over to Dave Darko, or just Dave.
Just Dave is fine.
What have you been up to this month?
So I'm gonna split this a bit. It's basically around all my stuff that I did for Element 14 these days, and I'm gonna show you one piece, and then Alex is gonna show you his project, and then I'm gonna show you another one that I was working on and that I'm really proud of. So let's start with this one here. And
that has really been popular on the internet.
Yeah, so I've made the the skeleton version of this for Element 14. I had this design like flying around for a while before that. That's actually, I think that's my most popular tweet. We might have checked the numbers earlier. Yeah, but anyways, in the comments of the Element 14 video, people were saying like, hey, why don't you put it in resin? And I'm like, I don't want to put it in resin. And then the next one came, and so yeah, then I finally decided it would be nice to do that, to put it into resin. And I've also shared a video on my channel about all the steps that I had to do for this. And
is this the first resin project that you did?
That's the first one. So why not just put so many mechanical things into resin? What could possibly go wrong? There are buttons in there, and the switch, and the battery holder that can go, where the resin can go in. So I had to test every part and then notice, okay, the IC holder actually sucks in the glue and the resin. So that didn't work out, and I had to switch a lot of parts before I really put this into resin. Yeah, and then all the buttons had resin inside them, but I was able to scratch it out. Yeah, so
that sounds, it sounds like a brilliant idea. Put it in resin, and everyone's got this idea of this workable, clear glass computer. But like you said, you're swallowing electronics. That's I can't believe you've actually did that.
Yeah. That's like, it sounds like a good idea, and when it works, it's like looking really cool, but I don't think that any of the people that said, hey, put it into resin, have actually put stuff into resin before. So that was like, okay, yeah, fine, I'll do it. So because I wasn't able to put in a switch, sorry for showing you the finger, I had to put in a what is it called, a reed switch. Yeah, that's magnetic, and I have some magnets embedded here, and I first thought that I can print something mechanical that works with the magnets, but when I add a magnet, it's actually that strong that, okay, that's, of course it doesn't work now, but when I hold it here, it turns on. So that's enough for me. I'm just going to put the magnets here on the battery when I want to turn it off. When I turn it on again, it just works like that. And I hope that wasn't too loud and too near to the microphone, but
That's really awesome.
yeah, so it still works and I'm really happy about it. And I'm going to bring this to the Maker Faire in Berlin, where we both will have a stand, and Bitluni will be there at our stand, and also Clemens from Maya Makes, who is also an Element 14 host. So yeah, it's going to be fun meeting all the people. There's some other guys from Tindy coming as well, and from guys I know from Twitter and Take a Day, and yeah, it's going to be fun.
Sounds good. So you're doing a lot of work with Element 14.
Yeah, I'm a host. I should have made videos for them like for a long time, but my first video got out this year, so
we need to freeze that then and get the gangster glasses on. Boom.
Okay.
Yeah, no one knows what that is.
No. keep talking.
Yeah, I'm a corporate chill now. But no. Yeah. So a little offspring of that project is that's still the part that I wanted to show. I've 3D printed another holder for these little things, and then made a silicone mold of it. I'm not sure if you can properly see it. I'm gonna do the nail polish review. There we go. The stuff works. Ladies that are doing that are smart. Anyway, that's an LED in a diode shape form, and it's pink LEDs inside. It's a bit tricky to see because it's very clear, but yeah, I really enjoyed the outcome of that.
They look awesome, mate. They look really, really good. Have you tried sanding the outside to
Yeah,
diffuse it?
Yeah, I did that, and then I put on some white spray, but that got worse somehow.
Will you sell them on Tindy?
Maybe. Right now I'm planning to hand them out on at the Maker Faire first, and then
Wow,
we'll go
that's
from there.
cool.
That's really good. You could imagine that on some kind of children's electronics kit. I mean, it is showing, that is the LED.
Yeah.
And that's what it does.
The idea is sometimes you have trouble getting from the schematics to the LED. Like, how do I put it into my design? How do I put it on the breadboard? And this makes it easier because you have it in the shape how it's supposed to be connected. So, yeah, that was the whole idea behind that.
So we now need the SMD version.
Maybe Alex can do that for me.
Yeah.
But
That's why he's on here. Aha.
yeah, that's a good segue to lead to his project, because SMD.
So this is something I'm just now working on. Let's see if we can see it.
Gotta get closer, much closer. Enhance.
Now, can we get it in big?
Yeah, that's sharp.
Okay, so it's basically like it's 3 independent PCBs, each holding a little LED matrix above of 7 by 5 pixels. So basically, this black big thing is a baseboard, and you just plug in these tiny things. And this is basically it's all in one. It's the LED, the discrete LED matrix on the front, and on the back you have all the controlling done by an STM8 microcontroller. So
that is ridiculously cool.
This is ridiculous, tiny and
door. That is amazing.
And you can even measure it if you want. It's smaller than 1 centimeter, I think.
Yeah, that should be.
And how do you solder?
I'm American here.
How do you solder the LEDs and the components?
Basically, I use a stencil for dispensing solder paste first, then placing them by hand, like it's 04 or 2 LEDs, placing all by hand, and then use hot air to reflow them all. the placing of the LEDs is, I think, the most difficult one, because it's like really small and you have to begin at the one corner, not to place the LEDs around the last one. So the last one needs to be on the other corner. So it's quite difficult, but I already soldered like 4 of them now, and now I can do the LED side in half an hour.
That's impressive work. If you go to Alex's YouTube channel, there is a very satisfying video to watch.
Yeah, I managed to, the last matrix I soldered, I managed to took footage of the reflow process of the LEDs.
Yeah, if you enjoy the videos of components being reflowed and how they all go,
yeah,
it's a cool video.
And because Brian asked for it, I once sneezed doing placing the LEDs, and they all flow away. Of course, maybe I think in my carpet, when I will move out of my apartment, in the carpet there will be all LEDs in the carpet, and the next inhabitant will find SMD LEDs everywhere.
Yeah.
Dave, can you post a link to Alex's channel in the chat, please? Because it's not in the description.
It's not in the description.
It's in the description. I thought it's
Yeah,
it's in Dave's section.
his channel's on there.
Oh, that's it. I didn't look in Dave's section. Sorry.
But in general, if you want to follow me, Twitter is a much better platform than YouTube.
I'll update the description with some links and stuff as well when we're all done.
Basically, it's Tinyledmatrix everywhere.
Yeah.
So Instagram works for him.
Instagram, Twitter, Hackaday,
Yeah.
YouTube, everything.
So what was the microcontroller again that was actually controlling it?
It's an STM8. It's like an 8-bit from ST, which is you can also find in every cheap Chinese PCB, because you can get them like for 50 euro cents in pieces of one. So
I think you can get the PCB where they're on for 70 cents or something.
Yeah, it's
like
like the cheapest
ridiculous
microcontroller you can find, basically. But you can also get this microcontroller in a quite good tiny package, so it fits on the back.
And so the 3 boards that you had connected, are they all controlling via a main microcontroller? Is it all like SPI? Or?
Yeah, that's the basic idea. You can show it again here. The basic idea is that it's using this old Chickey add-on socket, which is 4 pins. The idea is in the future that you can control this single matrix by I2C via a master controller or something like that. And this is basically what I planned for this main PCB, which is basically an Arduino Nano in another form factor, just to get like an I2C master. So basically this is all just USB to I2C in the planning, but so far I didn't get the I2C running on the STM8. So they're just running a demo code right now.
That's brilliant. It's so cool. Now, where do people throw their money at?
That's quite difficult. I asked for production of these matrices, and so far the production costs were so high that no one, at least I think nobody would pay like 50 euros for one.
No.
And so I
No.
I'm sorry, but no.
yeah, and that's the cost why you can't buy them really.
I mean, I buy stuff from Bitluni and from from Brian. I bought something, but 50, no. No, but yeah.
And just to go on a question from the comments, Adam asked whether it should be the Chickey add-on socket, and yes, it is. Basically, it's the old one with the 4 pins. The new one uses 6 pins, but they're compatible, so you can plug it inside of a Chickey add-on socket.
That is brilliant. And anyone that doesn't know, the SAO standard is kind of like the badge standard for connecting multiple badges to each other. Default logic is they just blink, but you can then control them or program them.
To put badges on your badges. That's what the Chickey add-on is for. The adapter, yeah.
Have you considered doing them as a kit, Alex?
Someone mentioned Benhake, by the way.
Oh, kit. I can send you a kit. It would be like the soldering challenge next level.
Yeah.
Oh, mate, I will give it a go. Hand soldering all the way.
without the standstill.
Yeah.
All right, Dave, what was that you flashed up?
Yeah, so I made a sticker because that was kind of the whole, I don't know, when you go on Ben Hack's video when it's not Ben Hack anymore, this question popped up quite a lot and for a long time. So yeah, I got inspired one day and drew this until 4 a.m. Okay, so someone wants me to show the penguin badge, but I wanted to make a spoiler thing, like for next week's Element 14 Presents video that I made. I hope that's fine too. So I made this, and I hope you can see that.
That is like the worst knockoff Game Boy I've ever.
Yeah. I basically took a hammer and slammed it on the original Game Boy for a while, and then
Mario jumped on it.
Yes. No, actually, it's the Game Boy, but without the mushroom that he took. So that's the small version. No, but there's original Game Boy hardware in here. There's the main board of the DMG in here, and it plays music. And the display is actually connected to an PCB that's featuring an Arduino. I just made a Atmega 32.8 PCB for it, and yeah, it plays music, and I can probably demonstrate that. I don't have the speaker for it, but.
And did you say that was using the Game Boy hardware?
Yes, it's the original hardware that plays the original tunes. Well, I wrote a sequencer, put that on the cartridge with my flash that I've made for it, and then I wrote the sequencer and put on some music. I'm not sure if you can hear much of it. Here's the volume thing. That's the Element 14 title song. That's my MacGyver version. So yeah.
Oh, Rickroll.
He's Rickrolled everybody.
So that was quite fun to build, and I spent a lot of time sanding this, and he was amazed by the quality, so I'm pleased with myself.
You are one ridiculous individual. That was so good.
That's the geekiest iPod you could ever have.
Oh yes, I actually I went to my grandparents' place and by train, and I took it out and held it like this and was listening to music on it. Mostly, showing off very, very much with it.
That's amazing.
So
that is so cool. Now to top that, we have now got David Watts.
Oh, for heaven's sake! What are you talking about? Top that! You're outrageous. So, I don't know if many people watching know who I am or what I do, but generally, it's not anything like anything anyone else here is doing. It's generally a little bit lower rent is the expression I would use. So I haven't really got that. No, that's a lie. I was going to say I haven't really got that many projects on, but I'm surrounded on my desk by tons of breadboard stuff. I've not made any PCBs in a long time. But recently I went away to Japan, and so I've come back with some ideas, which is cool. Is there any way to share the desktop? I don't know. I don't know how to do it.
Not in Hangouts, no. You need OBS.
So, I've got your screen on the left corner, the second symbol on the left corner, left upper corner of your screen.
Yes.
Share it. Sorry.
So if I press, hang on, let me just minimize things I don't want everyone to see. And if I press that, what's it going to do? Okay, hang on a minute.
We can see your browser history now.
Like the first for
that's okay, Bitluni. Incognito window, incognito.
You have been to Japan.
There we go. So this, I don't know if you can see this, but I went to this place called Akihabara in Japan, and on the very bottom floor, the bottom basement, they had this used bit where people were just selling off bits that were used from other projects and they didn't need them. And this HAL 9000 box here just blew me away. I thought it was amazing, but it was 9,000 yen. And as much as I would love to take it, I couldn't afford to get it back on the plane. It was too big for the carry-on luggage. So I've decided I'm going to make one. And the only reason I've decided I'm going to make one is because I already have this clear perspex bit at the front. I made some, what are the Christmas decorations, ball balls, and you can get these clear plastic ball balls. So I've got one of those, and so I'm going to have to figure out how to manufacture the rest. But let's jump. Oh no, is that stop screen sharing now?
Yeah, okay. I can tell you now. There's a couple of designs on Thingiverse for HAL. If you want to get a jump start.
Well, I was going to make it out of wood rather than use my 3D printer. Only because I think it will be a bit more realistic. Although it's probably made out of metal, I don't know. I didn't touch it because it's 9,000 yen, and that's a lot. Anyway, so that's something I'm thinking about making. But I've also got all these other projects, like this stupid rotary phone thing. It's like a project that will never die, and I can never finish. And that stupid dice thing that I was doing. But I have designed the PCB for that. I need to send it off to manufacture. So this dice thing is a stupid idea that I came up with that other people have already come up with before. That often happens with the projects that I do. So it's a dice that you shake. You shaking it will trigger the microcontroller. In this case, it's an AT-Tiny85 to throw out a number from the count of vibrations from a little vibration sensor or shake switch. I don't know what you'd really call them. But that thing triggers like hundreds of times a second. So it counts up a lot, and there's no way to predict what that number will be. But I also want it to be low power and have a display on the top with LEDs shining through. Turns out my way of doing that was a bit crap. I don't know if I've got one around here. I probably haven't. So I'm going to do some upside down SMD LEDs, which Dave Darko and Brian Locke are really familiar with. And actually, I think they look really cool and a lot better than my weird LED. Have I got them? Yeah, I have. I mean, I don't know how to make my webcam focus, so this is going to be terrible. But these little square LEDs just glued basically onto the bottom of the PCB and the legs bent over it and soldered. Not going to work out too well. But the other thing that I'm really excited about, if you ignore all of the other projects that I'm unlikely to finish in the next couple of months, that I spoke to Colin about this recently. I dropped him a message and said that I was interested in looking at some PV stuff, some photovoltaic cell stuff, putting a little crappy panel in my garden, charging up a 12-volt battery and just sort of monitoring the voltage and how much current's going in and what I can use with it. And he's given me some advice about an EP Ever charge controller. Colin, you can jump in at any second to tell me when I'm wrong. And I'm really excited about doing it. I got contacted by a company about 3 months ago offering me a 100-watt panel. And I said no, because, there's not a lot of light. And my garden's really narrow and doesn't face the right way. So you get a bit of light for like 5 minutes of the day or something. But whatever the scenario is going to be, I think I'll get some kind of result and it should be fun to play with. So I'm really excited about learning about that. I don't know. I'm just always learning about some stuff, aren't I? I mean, I'm never really an expert in anything at all, but that's sort of what I've got coming up. And I've got some components that I brought back from Japan, which I've been playing with. I put a video up today about this super weird TO46 package LED that had 3 legs, and you only needed to connect 2, it turns out, but one of them had bond wires and you didn't need to connect that one. It was just a bit odd. But I've got some other components which will be fun to play with, so I'm looking forward to doing that. That's it. I've just rambled a lot. Sorry. It's constant. It's just like a stream there. But I mean, I'm still a little bit tired from flying back from Japan. And ill. I've managed to pick up some Japanese illness, which is just a cold probably, or that avian flu. Who knows?
That's it. On top of all the projects, you managed to get a 2-week trip to Japan.
Yeah, that was a very expensive, very expensive trip, but I really enjoyed it. Japan is like a nuts place. I have never been anywhere in the world that has made me feel more like a foreigner than Japan. I've been to, I mean, this isn't me bragging, but I've been to Ghana, to India, and I don't know if this is a horrible thing to say, but they're more westernized. So they're more like Europe and other places like that. But Japan, like, everything is different. They've got this huge bit in their culture about respect, which is like amazing. So all the people in Japan were really, really friendly and respectful, but they've got food that I didn't really get on with. So there was a lot. And you can't read the characters. They're not remotely familiar. So it was just a very strange, eye-opening, glorious place to be. It was really good. Beautiful country. Loved it.
Fantastic.
Sorry, that's me now.
That's good. And your channel's looked after while you were away.
Oh, yes, it was. I completely forgot to say this. So, right, I'm not like a super big YouTuber like someone who's sat there in a lovely red t-shirt, but I did ask a couple of people if they wanted to sort of jump in on my channel and grab some eyeballs while I was away, because I wasn't going to be doing anything. And if they can get in front of people's eyeballs who aren't subscribed to them, then I think that's a good thing. So Blitz City DIY took the first spot and did a video about her sort of MSG EQ7, which is a 7-band graphical equalizer chip, or spectrum analyzer, really. And coupled it with an 8x8 matrix, green LED matrix. It was Circuit Python, wasn't it? And yeah, there's some other bozo that did a video, I think, which is Stephen. That was meant to be funny. Yes,
sorry, you're talking about me.
That's meant to be friendly banter, you know. And Steve did a video as well, and he's planning to do a modification, improvement, really, to my binary clock project that I did ages ago, like a CMOS clock. He's going to sort of bring it into the 21st century, essentially, and give it a nice, should we call it a GPS movement, I guess?
Yeah, it's like a high-tech way of pressing a button for the allowed amount of time.
I'm not even going to pretend to know. I know what the acronym is that you came up with that thing for.
Yeah,
so many letters.
That's coming up next.
It was a backpack daughter uncle something board, wasn't it? I can't remember. I'm excited about it.
Yeah, me too. On that segue, what am I doing? What have I been doing this month? Yeah, so I looked after David's channel for a week while he was away, and I tried to promote something that I've had an idea of doing since I got David's BCD crap clock. And if you watch my videos on any one that I've done, I can't say BCD. It's BDC, CBD, CBD. But anyhow, so I've always, even David alluded to it, where he there's a 1 hertz signal broken out, so you could inject something like a GPS signal, which is always 1 hertz, and that will always keep an accurate time. But the trouble that you have with the CMOS clock is, as soon as you lose the power, you have to set the clock by going through the seconds again. So if you're right at the end of the day, you have to clock through, was it 86,400 seconds in a day? So David helped us out by adding a 32 and a 256 hertz button. So one press of the button is 256 clock cycles. But even if it's at the end of the day, it takes a long time. So I thought, well, is there a way to have an add-on board, a little daughter board that you can connect to it, and if you lose power, when you plug it back in, the microcontroller knows the time, or it'll go off and get the time via Wi-Fi and say, right, well, it's 10 o'clock at night, so that's going to be what, 80,000 seconds, say, and then it'll tell the crap clock, right, clock 80,000 times, and then it'll get to the right time. And I've also thought of like doing the animation, so if it took like 2 minutes to do the amount of clocks, then it'll add that right time. So when it gets to that time, it should be, you know, perfectly in sync. So that'll be using some kind of PWM signal from that board. But yeah, check out his video where I make a bit of a mess trying to explain that as good as this. But I came up with the acronym, which is the I'm going to do this to camera like I know it off by heart. The DWBCDCCCBDAB, which is a nice, easy, succinct way of calling the David Watt binary coded decimal crap clock chrono backpack daughter add-on board, which explains it all. So yeah, that was an idea that I had for a long time, and David asked me if I wanted to do a video on his channel to keep his channel going, and I thought, well, that would be an ideal expansion on his project. And it's kind of pushed me, because usually I'd be like, that's a good idea, and it'll just go off and I'll never think of it again. But I'll put it out there, so I'm going to think, right, I'm going to do this, I'm going to work it out, I'm going to breadboard it, work out getting the clock signal right, and then turn the breadboard into a PCB. I've only used OshPark and Eagle very briefly. I've made like an 80 Tiny 85. Well, you can't call them 80 Tinies anymore, can you? The micro chip tiny somethings. Turn that into a PCB, learn some Eagle, speak to our very friendly circuit board designers who like to throw circuit boards at us, and then maybe even partner up with David and sell a few limited kits or something like that. So yeah, it was just a project to push me into doing projects. So that was the main thing I've been up to. I've been up to loads as well. I'm going to waffle on. I'm going to ignore a bunch of stuff that I've done. However, where's my finger? There it is. You can see a clock next to the subcounter. So this is the Brian Locke alarm clock. Or until I only realized when I was typing up some notes, he's called it the BLough alarm clock, which I didn't realize rhymed because he's Irish. Until that point, I was like, why is it the BLough alarm clock?
I get his last name wrong all the time as well.
Yeah, it first started when he came out with the blocker for the 3D printer USB. And because I'm English, I would say his name is Low. So it's like, why is it called the blower? But then it's like, well, it's not. It's the
blower.
Yeah, there he is. He's on. I'm sure he's laughing away at that one. So yeah, this is his clock that he sells on Tindy. So it's a Wi-Fi enabled. Ooh.
I thought that was one part, the sub counter and the clock. No,
yeah, this is separate. These are my predictions, by the way. So what's coming up? So yeah, this is his alarm clock. Have you noticed I've got a new camera? I've got my new webcam. I'm not as rubbish anymore.
And a new haircut.
Yes, I went to the Army surplus and I said, give me the regular. And
it looks gorgeous.
Thank you. So here we are. That's his BLough alarm clock. That's the back of it. Even get this out because I'm basically showing off. This is front. If you haven't seen this, this is one of the products that he likes to sell on Tindy. It's really cool. It's just an LED 7-segment display. It's got a Wemos D1 Mini. You've got your driver chip and you've got a buzzer and 2 buttons. As simple as a clock can be. But he contacted me because I seem to be the chap you go to if you want a case, like a 3D case designing. So yeah,
he contacted me. Like, you two don't talk all the time. Come on.
He sent me a letter and he was like, "Dear Mr. Ludgate," he said, "I'm, as Sion would say, I'm the king of swag. I'm the king of blag." So Brian contacted me and said, "Do you want a free clock? You can design some cases for me," which I don't know why it seems to be my favorite. What have we got? Yeah, I've got a question here. Can you put it on Thingiverse? It will be available via Brian. So he says, can you build some cases for me? I've done it before and I'll do it again. So this is what I came up with. There is a 3D case. So this two-tone is it's printed like that and it's changed color. There's 2 versions. There's one without a front on it, but I thought we could have one here. So during the day, well, I was going to say not during the day. If you have it switched off, it's completely flat. But then when you plug this in, which I made it so all you got to do, it just goes in and snaps in. Pretty cool. And then the LEDs, you can see through the plastic.
So that's just like a really thin layer on the front, is it? That's covering those LEDs?
Yeah, it's about 2 layers of PLA. And the LEDs are that bright. I've done it before. The same with this. This is a 3D printed case from Thingiverse. If you look up Wi-Fi scroller or Octoprint scroller, it's this guy that's done. These are the you know, the 8x8 LED matrix. You know, buy the 4 kits that you can get from AliExpress.
Steve, these look legit AF. I'm well impressed.
Thank you.
The scrolling thing in the background, I thought you'd bought that. It looks like it
No,
just looks like a project you can buy.
I'll ruin the magic, shall I? Because I've not put the back on. It's supposed to have it's supposed to have a Wemos, but I've got
Just looks nice from afar.
No, it's not going to. Oh, it's not going to reach.
Put that away.
So yeah, it's there's your display, and you've got all this gubbins. So I've got a NeoPixel stick and a buzzer. So I need to mod the case to add them in, but I thought I'll put it on here while we're on the stream.
What massive 3D printer did you use to print that thing?
It's my own. It's the one that I built, the P3 Steel. I like to make stuff rather than using.
Rather than make videos about it, obviously.
Yeah. I hate videos. God, I hate YouTube. Yeah, so I always like to make some. I've seen another 3D printer that I want to make. Like, I love all these. 3D printing is so cheap. When I got into 3D printing, I did have to buy my first one because to make a 3D printer, you need a 3D printer. I think it was a printer bot, one of the first. Was it plywood printer bots?
Oh God, I remember that.
Yeah, it was secondhand, but it was still like 600, 700 quid. It was and the build surface is probably that. It's crazy. So I expanded and built, and then the P3 Steel is basically like a Prusa i3, but on steroids. It's, you know, you can literally sit on it. It's 3 mil steel. It's incredibly heavy. But yeah, it's brilliant. So it was built on that, and that's got a 200 by 200 build volume, so it's plenty big. And it doesn't come across on the camera, but this is Vertigo Galaxy. I think this is one I sent you, Dave.
Oh, the glitter.
Yeah, it's got glitter in it, so it's black, but then the light catches on it.
That's very great from here.
So that is a case. I don't know why, I just like designing cases. So Brian's printed a couple out. What have we got? Does it pass the 5-foot test? Yes. Brian's printed a few out. There's a couple of tweaks I need to do just to get the USB clearing. You got the buttons on top. You got the LDR, which he's just had updated in his code by one of his followers. So when you cover it, it does dim the display. So at the moment, you can actually read the value. So it was interesting where the kit is complete, but his software was a bit lacking, shall we say, which he's fully aware of. But yeah, it's fantastic. It's a brilliant kit. He just soldered it up, put in the fantastic Arduino IDE and uploaded it, and it just went off. I don't know if you saw that when you boot up. It's dead quick at getting the internet time. Goes to boot, tells you your local IP, which is .50, and there you go, internet time, done. And I've had it plugged in for the past couple of days, just testing it, and yeah, it's like 6 foot away from a bed. It lights up the room, annoys my partner, but tells damn accurate time. Which is, yeah, wow, 9:05. We're going to get a wriggle on. And I've been to all sorts of other stuff, but that will do from me.
Before you move on, Steve, I think you should post more stuff about 3D printing, and designing stuff. Yeah,
I know. I just don't have time. I do prefer 3D printing. I did a lot of 3D printing. My channel was originally like a 3D time lapse, and I did my original videos were all on the build of my 3D printer. So yeah, I should. And I feel like I could be a voice in that. I'm not very good at electronics, as most can tell. I tend not to build a lot.
It would be even cool if you just upload without talking time lapse of designing the parts. So even that would be awesome.
Yeah, I think it's a great idea.
So you're both saying you don't want to hear my voice?
No, that's not what I mean.
Yeah,
but that's the easiest video you can do. You don't have much to edit there.
Probably. So we have a question about the filament. Does it rub off? Are your fingers sparkling now that you have touched it, or?
Oh no, the glistening. No, it's impregnated in the plastic. It's
Right.
yeah. It's I would imagine if you rubbed and rubbed and rubbed it, it will
I mean,
come away.
yeah.
But I mean the plastic's coming away. So, yeah.
Challenge accepted, I'd say. So
It's what is it? Yeah, Filamentum Vertigo Galaxy. I think the favorite is Vertigo Grey, which is the grey and silver.
Mm.
Everyone's doing glitter filaments at the moment. They really seem to make prints pop. Is a great one. And just before we move on to the question of the episode, if you haven't seen David Watt's video, the thumbnail of that video, he asked if I wanted to do that. And I
God.
oh no. It's so wrong.
I'm just going to leave that right there.
It's
so
like our
wrong.
brains are kissing. It's amazing.
They definitely touch.
It's just wrong. Wow. Okay. On that note,
Do you know what? I think actually a new thumbnail for the Makercast. You pick bits of each one of the people, so it could be someone's eye, someone's nose, and just mix up. And people have to guess who's going to be in it. Don't put the names in.
Isn't there a Queen cover where they have the merged faces?
I think there is.
Do that.
I was thinking of the Red Dwarf.
Eye is the left eye is the right eye from the next one.
That picture's already haunted my dreams, so I'm not going to do that at all. Okay, so I've got a question for all the hosts on this one, which is, what is your favorite microcontroller to use and why? And behind me, I have some predictions written down to see if we can gamify it a little.
Oh, is that in the envelope?
Yeah, but it's a written piece of paper because I didn't have an envelope. And we'll go alphabetically again. So we'll start with Bitluni. What is your favorite microcontroller and why?
My favorite one is the Arduino Nano.
All right, I'm going to give you the face again. Sorry.
Despite the fact that I'm doing only ESP32 projects, it's obviously my favorite one is ESP32 right now. But overall, I would say the most time and most thingies that I built were based on or started at least with an Arduino Nano, because that's available. It's very cheap and it's complete. So yeah. So that and I wanted to tease you with because you have written on your in your envelope ESP32. So I would say ESP32 is indeed my favorite one, but actually Arduino Nano is the one, the honorable mention here.
Good. I'll go with that one. Okay, Colin Hickey, what is your favorite microcontroller?
Mine would be the ESP8266, specifically the ESP01, because I know it's only got a couple of I/O, but it's that was my introduction to like Wi-Fi and doing the sort of Arduino type mashup stuff, and yeah, that was a big game changer. And now you can pick them up for something like just over £1. It's fantastic.
Fantastic. Okie doke. Dave Darko.
Mm-hmm.
Same question to you.
Yeah. So it's a bit tricky for me to answer that because I really like the ATtiny13 because I made my badges with that. I do enjoy an Arduino based on the Atmega 328, and I also really like the ESP12F, or S. But yeah, those are my three go-tos when I want to design a project.
Okie doke. I'm not liking this game. Okay.
Sorry. Should we?
I should have shown the answers. Okay. Alex, while you're here, what's your favorite microcontroller?
Basically, I would say the STM8 because it's super cheap and it's more powerful than most ATmegas and much cheaper.
How would it compare to something that others would know, like the like Tiny 85 or the Tiny 13?
Basically, there are a little bit more features than on a normal 80 mega, but it's also an 8-bit processor and also capable of driving 5 volts.
Cool. Okie doke. David Watts.
Well, I did think about this for all of 5 minutes earlier, and so when I began doing just pissing about with electronics, I used this exact microcontroller, which is probably out of focus because I don't know how to use this camera, but it's just an Arduino Uno clone. It's not even like the original thing. It's literally like a cheap thing from China, and I love it. It's an 80 mega 328-PU, right? Great. You can pull that off, stick it in a breadboard. Brilliant. However, it's not where I learned the most stuff. So I started using the Leonardo, which is the AT Mega 32U4, right? Which is fairly similar to the Uno, which is a great platform to start learning coding, I/O, electronic stuff. 32U4, it's a blooming human interface device, isn't it? HID USB interface. Great. It's got the USB comms built in, so it meant that I could build my own board. Have I got one? Oh, wait, here's one.
Yeah, you can build MIDI devices with that one. That's really cool. Yeah.
So I could build this thing and stick it. Oh, well, it's gone now. I could stick a USB on the back and program it directly from my computer. I didn't need to bother with like FTDI stuff or CH340G chips or any kind of USB comms. It did it all on board. So that is the chip that I choose, the AT Mega 32U4.
Cool. Sorry,
Yeah.
I'm just responding to a funny comment about the IDE.
It's garbage, but it's one of the best things that we have to use these chips, honestly.
Yes. For me, I was going to enter this, and I would say my favorite is probably 80 Tiny 85. I always just like its form factor. It's tiny. It limits you as far as what you can use, the pins you can use. It makes you think outside the box. I think Dave has definitely seen that with his little see-through Gameboy, where he created that resistance ladder or resistance matrix almost for the buttons. So he was able to control all the buttons on a single pin. It really makes you think and compact your design to how to utilize what's available. And they're just incredibly tiny and cool.
And no one else had chosen it yet.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's cool. So, predictions completely gone. Here we go. All right. I wasn't far off, kind of. No. Oh, well, yeah, I should have put 01. I should have thought of that. I thought Dave might have gone for the Tiny 85.
You predicted yourself.
I got it
For completeness. Or just one win in that list, at least.
Yeah, and I wasn't aware of what the microcontroller was for you, Alex, but I thought it'd be something very small. So I'm gonna say that I won that one.
You pretty much got mine, although I thought you'd go for that. So I didn't want to be the scrub lord that went for the 328. So I was like, 32U4, I'll make something up on the spot. So there you go.
Damn it. Okay. Is there any questions in the comments that anyone has spotted and has saved for later? Or if anyone wants to ask a question, we can do. While they're doing that, has anybody got anything coming up this month that they want to talk about or blag about?
Yeah, I want to.
You go.
Okay, yeah, Dave had already announced it, and the Maker Fairs are coming up, and we have a stand on the Maker Fair in Berlin. So if you are coming to Berlin it's 2 weeks from now, is it?
Yes.
Yes. So if you are coming there, visit our stand. We are 4 of 5 stars, or German 4 von 5 Sternen. That's our name. And yeah, we will bring our stuff. I will bring lots of my former projects and my electric scooter that failed last time. So the crappy controller was broken, and yeah, until then I have to replace it with a proper ESC. So this is the VESC compatible ESC that is more capable than the Chinese controller. And yeah, it was already recognized from Great Scott. So we invited him as well, and he might show up. So we hope. So we can chat, and maybe if someone has another scooter, we can do a race with the electric scooters and drink beer and have fun with our projects and stuff, and play self-made consoles and whatnot. So yeah, I'm really happy to be there, and yeah, that will be fun.
Yeah.
It sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah, are you going to be doing any kind of vlogs or anything from the Maker Faire? It'd be really good to see what your experience is like.
I'm not planning to work there, so
No film.
actually, I will just take like a camping seat and sit there with a bottle of beer, or if it's allowed. I'm not sure, because there are kids all around, and I'm not planning to do a lot of recording there. But we were joking. We have a group chat on Discord, and we were joking that we might do a makercast live from the Maker Faire or something like that. And we got like an offer for a panel, a YouTube panel or something. Not sure about that. Dave, do you know any details about that?
No, I think Clemens was very mystic about it. But yeah, he shared a picture of him and two girls from the Maker Faire people drinking beer. So there's probably something happening with us on a panel and stuff. So yeah, but
You love a vlog, Dave. You can do it. If Bitluni doesn't want to do it, Dave will.
yeah, it actually takes a lot of time to find the right stuff to film and talk to people. So whenever I did that, I was there for 2 days and was talking to people, and then the video was like getting 300 clicks. So it's not like really worth the effort sometimes, because I've made videos now, and yeah, it's gonna be a bit tricky. We probably have something like vlogish, stylish, something like that, and Clemens is probably filming.
Yeah, Clemens did some reports, but most of the time the stands or the stuff that is shown on the Maker Faire in Berlin or here in Germany, so Hanover was the same, are mostly the same projects. That not much new is coming to the Maker Faire or changing. So you see almost the same projects everywhere, and that's why if you did once a report, the next one would look similar. So you'd show the same stuff, dancing flowers and some LED matrices, and that's basically all. And yeah, not really worth to show the same stuff. Maybe if sharing the experience of having an actual stand there would be cool. I think Maya even gives a talk there. I gave a talk last year. It was quite stressful because I didn't prepare my PowerPoint presentation until 2 o'clock in the night. So I was in a really crappy how's it called, hostel with like 6 others in the room, and I was on the lower level of this double floor bed, and I was typing and clicking on my laptop, creating the presentation for the next day, and I was the first one to present at the next day at like 10 o'clock, and I was completely wasted because I worked until like 6 o'clock, and then put like 2 hours of sleep. So I had my alarm clock set to 8 o'clock, and had like 1 hour to get there and prepare my presentation. But overall, it went quite well. So I was surprised about that. But I don't want to do work on Maker Faire anymore. So yeah, no. It's always like that. It's always in the last minute stuff. So I'm doing nothing, but I really have to to get my projects running again, charge the batteries, and get my Gameboy clone and whatnot, to have to show something there, and we will just sit there around and talk to people and have fun.
Yeah. It's going to be tough as well, like just talking about projects the whole day, and then it's another day, and it's really exhausting. So yeah, we'll see. We have 4 people at the booth, so might be a bit easier.
So maybe we'll just put the laptop in front of us and show the videos from our projects from the channel and just hide.
Yeah.
We have a question from Mr. Brian Lowe, like the Brian Locke, who knows? He said, if you made an Arduino board, what would it be called? I think the general rule of thumb is you make up some name and put the word Duino at the end of it.
Don't know.
Dave Duino? No?
What?
So mine would probably have to be crap now, right? That's basically, I think I've put myself in a corner where everything I make has to be called crap, and now I can't get out of it. So yeah, it would be like the crap clone or something, I guess.
Crap.
That would be it.
Maybe you can get
It
out
would
of
have
there.
like a poo emoji sort of baseboard or something. Oh look, Dave's had a thought there. You can see it in his eyes. I think he might make one.
You can slowly start by not so crappy anymore, and then get better and better.
I can work my way up. I think that's a good idea.
Is that all the ideas for that one? Crap Duino? Done. We've also
There's
got...
probably Arduino out there already, so...
Yeah. I think all the Duinos are pretty much taken now. We've got Paul Targetless. He says, it's not a question, but he says, can everyone stop reducing the quality of their output so he can finish his projects? I think we're dishing out too many good videos and he's not got enough time to do his own projects. So
Prevaricate.
Yeah. I didn't want to say
prevaricate.
I didn't want to say that word.
Does anyone, maybe it's this like a typo and it's procrastinate. Prevaricate. I'm going to have to look it up. Sorry, I'm going to go away for a second.
While Dave's going away, there is next weekend, if you're in the UK, it's the Maker Central in Birmingham, NEC. I think that's our Maker/Maker Fair type event. But looking at on YouTube, there's a lot of Americans that are coming over, and it seems to be very craft based, lots of woodworking and things like that. But yeah, that seems to be one of the biggest maker events for the UK. So that's next weekend. If anyone is in and around Birmingham, it's the NEC, which is like the UK's big event. It's like indoor, bigger than Belgium or something stupid like that.
I'm just going to interject here because I've just looked up prevaricate, and I think Paul said bloody autocorrect, but actually it kind of is the correct word. It means to speak or act in an evasive way, but it also means to shuffle, hedge, fence, dodge. So when he was talking about, sorry, this is not countdown. I'm not sure why I'm doing this. Let's move on. Sorry. Okay. I've had two beers. Why am I being this way? Sorry.
You're tired and you had
jet lag.
Jet lag. Yeah. I've been told Glasgow is the biggest in the UK as well. So I stand corrected, said the man in the orthopedic shoes. Okay, what have we got left? Yeah, I'm going to add another section. What are we on?
But I want to know the names of the Arduino microcontrollers from the others as well.
Oh,
and Dave.
I'll go with something simple like
yeah,
Chunky Duino.
Arduino.
Yeah, dude.
I think for a lot of these things, you would probably have sort of a specific purpose for this board. You wouldn't just roll up with an Arduino Uno clone. It might have some sensors on, so you probably like add a little bit of whatever the thing does. So it might be I don't know, maybe it's like a real-time clock coupled board or whatever. So you'd have it as a clock Arduino or some
Real
crap like
Arduino.
that. Maybe some crap like that. God, it's literally in my vocabulary now. I cannot get it out. Unbelievable. Oh, I'm just going to shut up.
Colin, you've been sat there very patiently waiting.
Yeah. No, I was going to go more what you were going for along the lines. Mine would be like Ginger Arduino or something like that.
That's the red PCB. That's definitely a red.
Yeah, the red PCB. Yeah.
Orange one.
Strawberry blonde. Thank you. Yeah.
Do you know there is a company that does orange PCBs? They're called
Really?
Ragworm in the UK.
Yeah, I've never heard of it.
They're well expensive. Don't go with them.
German PCB manufacturer that does pink PCBs.
Do you know what? Dirty PCBs. Have you used them before? They do an experimental. What's the hell's that thing called?
Yeah.
They do an experimental color, and they did a pink one. But when you order your PCBs, you have no idea what color it's going to be. So you just get a random one, which is pretty cool.
They just do the advertising with the pink PCB, and then you get something like brown.
Exactly. What happens is they mix all the colors together, and what do you get? It's always brown, isn't it? Always brown.
I think someone got transparent once. I think it was Radomir Dopiralski or
Oh
Dishipu.
my god, that would be
Yeah.
amazing.
So he was like, "Why is it missing? Oh, it's transparent." Oh. Yeah.
I remember that post. Yeah. Okie dokie.
But brown would be nice for a Crapduino.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I had to go there.
That's not happening, by the way. Let's not make this a thing. I'm not going to make a poo emoji development board.
Actually, does anyone know a manufacturer that has this Bitluni signature red? So it's a dark red, like 80000000000.
Is that your hexadecimal value for your color? I don't think there is one, no, but you could make your own, couldn't you?
Yeah, but then I would have to do the silk screen again. So
Yeah.
it's really
You should have just gone with a good green color. That would have solved all the problems.
Green is the most popular PCB color, it turns out. I was reading an article the other day why it's still the most popular. It's because it's really cheap, basically. That's all.
okay.
We've got some more names of Poopduino, Turduino, Crapduino. Lots of
Arduino.
That's
cool.
feces style boards.
Wow.
The whole product line for you there, David.
God.
I think we're at a very, very good point to finish with the stream.
Yeah. It has
Losing it.
literally turned to crap. on that bombshell, yeah, I would like to thank our hosts, which is Bitluni, Colin Hickey, Just Dave, his good guest Alex, David Watts, and myself.
I mean, you were the only host, actually.
Well, we're all co-hosts. Don't want to segregate as well. Yeah, okay. Shh.
Shushed. I got shushed.
I don't think we have decided who's hosting next month, but I'm sure there will be another Makercast next month, which is the first Saturday of June, which I believe is the 2nd. I believe. Yes, 2nd of June. And it will be on someone's channel, hopefully someone who has been on here. And that will be it. Is there anything else to add from anyone? That'll be a no.
No.
Yeah. Thanks for watching, and subscribe to all the channels, and visit the Tindy stores and everything. Don't forget to like as well, and all the stuff that you do on YouTube.
Don't subscribe to me. I don't need the pressure. Just stay off mine. It's fine.
Ring the bell and push the lever and whatever. Rotate the wheel and to get the notification, text notifications and whatever.
You forgot to smash the like.
Yeah.
smash the like. As Bitluni said, in the description below, we will have all the links to everyone's favorite social platforms. And what we're planning on doing as well is we will update the description with some time code stamps like chapter points. So you can dive back into this and watch it at your leisure, as I'm sure you will all do. And that is all from them. That is all from me. I think we'll all wave goodbye and say cheerio. Thank you, everybody, for watching.
Cheers, guys.
See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.